Hello, brothers and sisters. Well, things are flaring up. Recent news article: the risk of nuclear war has risen in the last 12 months, despite the global arsenal of weapons shrinking, with the US and Iran conflict partly to blame. Nuclear states held a collective 13,865 warheads in 2018, down from the 14,465 the year before. But researchers also suggest rising tensions between the United States and Iran has made atomic war more likely. Russia is believed to be developing a weapon that can penetrate the US anti-missile shield, while the United States is working on developing a new short-range tactical nuclear weapons to respond to Russia. This week, Iran will announce that it will breach its limit of enriched uranium on June 27th that was set under a 2015 nuclear deal by world leaders, including President Obama. I also thought I'd have a look at the latest earthquakes which are going on around the world. As we know, every day there's something going on, and more frequently now. So just in the last 4 days, have a look at this chart. We know about the 6.4 in Chile. We know about the 6.2 in Tonga, 7.2 in New Zealand, 6.3 in the islands region, and now another 6 today in the Kermadec Islands region. That's just 4 days, and these are the only ones that I've done that are 5 plus. So have a look how many earthquakes are going on and the intensity of it. That's a lot of earthquakes just in 4 days that are over 5 off the Richter scale. So, boy, these birth pains really are starting to become intense. Okay, this next part, it's not new news, but it's to do with this black hole. Now, I'm quite curious and interested in what your thoughts are on this black hole, because it's appeared all of a sudden, and it is said that it looks like somebody's punched a big fist through the atmosphere, through the galaxy. Now, there's so many different raptures that are going to go on. At any given time now, for example, every second on Earth, there's 2 souls leaving. But when the raptures take place, just think of all the bodies that need to be. We're talking billions of bodies. We're talking not just the deceased rapture and the church rapture. We're talking 144,000 rapture, the dead in the sea at the end rapture. We've got so many bodies, millions upon millions that need to go somewhere, and at such a colossal size and amount of depth in body. So to me, I don't even know if I worded that correctly then, but you know what I'm trying to say. Knowing where we're at the moment, and knowing what we believe will take place, does anyone else think it's strange that this black hole or this porthole has all of a sudden turned up at about now? I'm actually finding it quite exciting. I'd love to know your thoughts on it.
Sir Stephen Hawking famously said that facts are sometimes stranger than fiction, and nowhere is that more true than with black holes. Seeing one of the very strangest of the universe's mysteries is a huge step forward. Black holes have, for many years, existed only in the imagination and films such as Black Hole and Interstellar. But no longer. Scientists have captured the first ever image of a black hole, one of the most mystical phenomena in our universe, is finally revealed.
I never believed that this black hole was as big as people said, until we saw that. This is the nucleus of the galaxy M87, and this is the first ever image of a black hole.
And for all those involved, some visibly emotional, the enormity of the moment could not be overstated.
The history of science will be divided into the time before the image and the time after the image.
And with this last one, I'm not saying anything has to do with anything. I'm just it's amazing how some things just jump out at me, and this one did. I saw Philadelphia, and then I saw that 7 people were wounded, and that it happened near South 70th Street. So when I see 7s and 70s, and I saw Philadelphia, I thought I'd just put this one in as well for you.
This evening, a little after 10 o'clock, there were about 60 people behind me celebrating graduation as we understand it. At least one individual came up, we don't know if it was in a car or on foot, and fired multiple rounds. Unfortunately, there is one person who was pronounced dead at the hospital. We believe preliminarily he is in his 20s. We do not have much more than that at this point in time. So it is all very early for us, as you might imagine. This was some sort of graduation party. There's no indications that there are any problems back here other than that. There was nothing that suggested there was a fight that preceded this, at least according to the people here. Again, we don't know if the shooter or shooters left on foot or if they left in a car. We're trying to get as much information. Hopefully there'll be some cameras, or some of the people out here will be able to provide more information. Probably the people were probably clustered close together because it appears as though the shooter or shooters struck at least one person with every round. So that's what we have so far. At some point they will be, obviously detectives will go to the hospital and they'll speak to whoever they can speak to. Obviously they'll canvass this neighborhood, and it's really only houses on one side, as you can see, so that kind of limits us anyway. And it was dark.